Hello friends and welcome to today's session on VSNG. In this session we will discuss how you may validate your API responses through scriptless assertions. So in this session I will use the same test case which I have created in one of our previous sessions. So you may define the assertions in the validation tab. By default, VSNG application creates its status code assertion. Whenever you create a test case, this default assertion checks whether the status code is equal to 200 or not. You may also change the expected value as per your needs by clicking on it. We also have various other type of assertions through which you may validate the response body content, response headers and response time. You may define any number of assertions for a test case. Upon execution, a test case will be passed if all of the defined assertions are passed, otherwise it will be marked as failed. Now let's look at other types of assertions available in this tab. Let's try to add a new assertion. We can click on this add button over here to add a new assertion. Now select the value of source. So we have multiple types of assertion depending on the source value. The first one is status code, which we have already discussed. The second one is text body, which is helpful in validating any kind of response. We can use it to validate HTML, JSON, XML or customized format. We will look at it in detail in our next session. Next is JSON body assertion, which is helpful in validating the fields in the JSON API response. Suppose in the API response, I would like to validate the title and body property of our response. I can select the JSON body from the source and in the property field provide the JSON path of the field which we want to validate. Suppose I would like to validate the title field, and VSNG provides various operators to compare the expected and actual value. So you may choose any of the operator as per your needs. So let's select the basic one which is equal to in our case. So and in the expected value field provide the expected field value. So in this way you can create a JSON body assertion. Similarly, let's create the assertion for body property. So this time we will select the contains operator, and in the expected value field you may specify any substring. So let's say simple and powerful. Now try to run this test by clicking on this run single button over here, and as you can see that our assertions are passed. So if we change something in the expected value to check whether our test case is working or not, so let's change something in the expected value and try to run it again. As you can see that our assertion has failed, so it marked our test case to fail. You can see the status of the test case in the left pane. So let's change our assertion again so that our test case will be passed. So similar to JSON body assertions, we have XML body assertions. This type of assertions are applicable for XML responses. We will look at them in our subsequent sessions. Next is response time assertions, which is helpful in validating whether our API is returning within a specified time or not. In the expected value column, you may specify the expected duration of this API. So let's say we want to check whether our API is returning within 500 milliseconds or not. So you can specify 500 in the expected value column and save it. And if you run the test case, then this fourth assertion will be passed only when if API is returning the response within 500 milliseconds. Otherwise, it will fail the test case. Now let's look at the header assertion. So it is helpful in validating the response headers. Suppose we would like to validate the content type of our API response. So you may specify the header name in the property column. It is case insensitive. And let's select the contains operator. We are checking only the substring. So we can specify over here JSON. And if we run the test case, as you can see that the fifth assertion is passed. So next is custom source. This type of assertions are helpful in checking the state of variables. Let's try to validate a variable. So let's define the custom source assertion. For this we will need a variable let's define a global variable. In the configuration tab, we define a variable, say var1, and the value is value1. And let's move back to our test case. Here in the property field, we can specify the variable name var1, and the expected value you may specify it over here. Now if we execute this particular test case, as you can see that our sixth test case has been passed. So in this way you can validate the value of any variable. We will look at how you may use this type of assertions to validate your database state in our next session. That's it for this session. Thank you for watching this video. I hope this session has provided meaningful information to you. Feel free to comment on this video to provide your suggestions and your valuable feedback.